Greetings internet, it's Monica and happy first day of fall. I am so excited because today I am going to be sharing with you all my most anticipated releases for the rest of the year. So these are the fall and winter 2020 books that are coming out, and I'm so excited for all of these stories and to share them with you all. This is one of my favorite types of videos to film and also one of my favorite types to watch because I just find them really inspiring and exciting to hear about all of the upcoming new stories that are coming out. So I hope you guys also enjoy these kinds of videos. Before I dive in though, I do want to give a big shout out to this video's sponsor, which is Skillshare. Skillshare offers thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people on topics including illustration, design, photography, and more. It's curated specifically for learning, meaning there are no ads and they're always launching new premium courses so you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. And it's less than $10 a month for an annual subscription. With NaNoWriMo swiftly approaching, I have especially been looking at the various writing classes that Skillshare offers. One that I am so excited to start taking this month is by Lisa Ko, who's the author of The Levers. Her course offers 5 exercises to create a compelling plot, which is something that I definitely need help with right now as I am currently building out the plot of my novel. So I'm so excited to learn from Lisa, especially because this class comes so highly rated and even comes with some worksheets from Lisa Ko. If you'd like to get a free trial of Skillshare, I'll have a link in my description where the first 1,000 people will be able to get a free trial of Skillshare Premium. So first I want to talk about a book that is actually being released today, and it is Smash It by Francina Simone. I do have to give a biased disclaimer. I adore Francina. She is also a booktuber and just one of my favorite people. I think she's amazing, and I've been highly anticipating the release of her new book, Smash It, for quite a while now. It honestly just sounds like so much fun. It is a YA contemporary story in which we follow Liv, who has always allowed insecurities to really hold her back, and she's kind of just over it. So going into her junior year, she makes a list of things that she is committing to, and they are to be bold, do the thing that scares me, learn to take a compliment, and stand out instead of back. And I love that list. I feel like those are 3 things I feel like I need to start internalizing. She implements these life rules and she finds herself getting involved in the High School Musical, making new friends, going on some dates, and along the way maybe gets involved in a few too many dates because she ends up having feelings for 3 boys, 2 of which are her best friends. It sounds just super angsty and chaotic, but also fun and maybe cute. Hopefully this cover at least is very cute. I love this cover so much. But yeah, I've been really excited for this one, and I'm definitely super excited to get to meet Liv and all of the characters within this novel. The next book, and I hope you guys don't mind that I'm reading a bit off my phone, but this whole list is on my phone. So the next book that I'm excited for comes out September 29th, and actually there are a lot of books that are coming out September 29th. I don't know why, but seems like every book I'm excited for, September 29th. Anyways, this one is Shine by Jessica Jung. If you are not familiar with Jessica Jung, she is like an icon in the K-pop world. She is from the band Girls' Generation and is just a childhood hero for me. I adore her. So when I found out that she was releasing a novel about being a K-pop star, sign me up. I was so excited. Now, I will be honest, celebrity novels are not known for their prose. They're not known for being the best of the craft, you know? So I'm going into this with like not the highest of expectations, but I'm really interested in this one because it's based on a Korean American girl going to Korea and getting involved in the K-pop industry. Like, she's going to basically become an idol. And from the blurb it says, the rules are simple: train 24/7, be perfect, don't date. Easy, right? Not so much, as the dark scandals of an industry bent on controlling and commodifying beautiful girls begins to bubble up. Rachel wonders if she's strong enough to be a winner or if she'll end up crushed. I think it's really important for K-pop stars to be able to speak out against some of the darker parts of the industry, and I'm really excited that this story sounds like it's going to explore some of that, especially like from an insider perspective. Like, I don't know if she has a ghostwriter, but even if she does, like, she definitely had input in the book at least. So I'm excited for that. And also, if she doesn't have a ghostwriter, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean that in a bad way. I just like genuinely don't know. So if you know, let me know. But yeah, I'm so excited for this novel, and there are a few like actually K-pop novels that are coming out or have recently come out. So you might want to stay tuned. There might be a video themed around that coming your way soon. On September 29th, Hollowpox by Jessica Townsend comes out. If you follow my channel, you knew that this book was going to be on here because I won't shut up about it. Hollowpox is the third book in the Nevermore series, which is one of my favorite series of all time. It is a middle grade fantasy series. Obviously, I can't really talk about what Hollowpox is about because it spoils the rest of the series, but Nevermore is basically about this girl named Morrigan Crow who on her 11th birthday is meant to die, but instead she gets swept away to this different land called Nevermore. She lives in a hotel with Jupiter North and all these magical beings, and it's just the most whimsical and fun series. I love it so much. I would compare it to like Willy Wonka a little bit, a bit of Doctor Who, a splash of, I don't know, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, mostly just because they're in a hotel. I love things set in hotels, by the way, in case you didn't know. So that's a big bonus for me, but it's so good. I love it. Such a good series. If you haven't read it yet, please read it. Now is the time. The third one's coming out. Another book coming out September 29th is A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. And Naomi Novik wrote Spinning Silver, which is one of my all-time favorite books. She also wrote Uprooted, which is one of my all-time least favorite books. So I'm interested to see how this one goes. But this is the first book in a series. The series is called Scholomance. I don't know if that's how you say it, but that's what I'm going with. It's set at the school for the magically gifted where there are no teachers, no holidays, and no friendships. And basically the only way to actually leave the school is to graduate. And if you don't graduate, like if you fail, then you die. And we follow our main character Elle, who comes in with this very dark power. We don't know what it is, but I guess she has the ability to either destroy the school or kill all the other students. And we don't know which direction she's gonna go in. So that's all we know about Scholomance. I'm very intrigued. I feel like Naomi Novik synopses are very like vague. They're more like, here's the idea of what you're getting. And then you experience the novel. I say this based on the 2 books that I've read by her, so who actually knows? But I'm very excited for that. Then on September 29th, yet again, is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. And this is a novel about a library, which I love. That's one of my favorite. I don't know if that would be a trope, but basically if something is set in a magical library, I am there, I am in, ready to go. And I wanted to read this quote from the book that was included in the synopsis because it was just so compelling to me. And the quote goes, "Between life and death there is a library, and within that library the shelves go on forever. Every book provides a chance to try another life you could have lived, to see how things would be if you had made other choices. Would you have done anything different if you had the choice to undo your regrets?" And so this is about our main character named Nora, who enters this library, and she basically gets to explore all of these other stories of her life. And it's kind of her exploring like what actually mattered about her life. Like if she could change everything, like she could change her career, she could change her romances, like all these different parts of her life she could just undo and make different choices. Like would she make that choice? And like what makes a life worth living, I feel like, is the question that this book is asking. It sounds a little existential maybe, but also, I mean, the synopsis alone sounds beautiful. I am realizing now though that maybe that wasn't a quote from the book, but it was just a bolded blurb or something. I'm unsure, but I'm really excited for it regardless. I also feel like I have read a couple of books similar to this idea recently, like The Library of the Unwritten is a library set in the afterlife. It's set in hell, but it's a library of unwritten stories, and this is a library of I guess, unwritten lives. So similar concepts. I'm interested just to compare the two. Okay, and then the last September 29th book that I'm excited for is Bestiary by K. Ming Chang. And this one I do need to just read this bit of the blurb for you guys. I hate it when people do this, I know, but it's so much better than what I could say, and it honestly sold me on this book. So, K. Ming Chang, best known for her work as a poet, has written a story of Taiwanese American women who carry the weight in every sense of Taiwanese, Chinese, and Fujianese oral folk tales. One character grows a tiger's tail, another has serpents in her stomach, characters swallow sandstorms and become impregnated by rivers. Chang is keenly aware that there is no original myth, but only traveling, evolving versions of something more foundational. This is expressed in the process of migration itself. Chang writes of poverty, queer romance, internalized racism, and more. Pals, does that not sound like the book of the year? Because to me, it sounds like the book of the year. I'm really excited for this novel. It's new on my radar, and as soon as I read the synopsis, I was like, I need this. I need it in my life. I need to read it yesterday. I hope it stands up to this amount of hype that I've given it in my head, but I'm so excited for this book. It sounds beautiful. It sounds different. It sounds whimsical. I feel like I know I use the word whimsical too much. Someone actually commented about like, it's not a video from Monica unless she uses the word whimsical in it at least once, and I was just like, I mean, you're not wrong. But I need to find different words than whimsical, clearly, but it just sounds that way, doesn't it? Like magical, it just sounds magical. So I'm really excited for that. And also just like to see how she explores all those different topics within this like mythological lens. Again, very excited. Sounds amazing. Sorry if the video just moved around a little. Camera battery died. Anyways, the next book that's coming out is thankfully not coming out September 29th. It's actually coming out October 6th. And that is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I think this is probably at least BookTube's most anticipated book of the year. Like if I had to choose one book that I've heard about consistently all year long, it is this one. And that's always dangerous because it means that there are really high expectations and there's gonna be a lot of people who are disappointed and a lot of people who are going to love it and rave about it. And so I just wanna put this out there. Go into this with level-headed expectations. I say this after going gaga over Bestiary just a second ago. However, regardless, pretend like that didn't happen. We have to go into this book with medium, regular expectations because, you know, I think for me that's something that at least for me as a reader, obviously everyone do what you want. For me, I don't think it'd be fair if I went into this book expecting it to hit all of the expectations that like the bookternet set for it. I want to let it be the book that it is meant to be and wants to be. So that's been my goal with reading it. That's why I've kind of struggled with reading it, because I don't want to overhype it for myself and then be disappointed in something that the book was never going to be, if that makes sense. That was honestly my tactic with The King of Scars, is that when I was first reading it, it's not that I was disappointed in it, it was just that I was so overwhelmed with the fact that this book that I was so hyped for, had so anticipated, was finally in my hands, that it was like I couldn't read it as the book that it was meant to be. I was just reading it as like what I wanted it to be. And so taking half a year away from it and just letting myself go back to it when I was actually ready was amazing, and it allowed me to enjoy it so much more. And I think that that's why I gave it 5 stars. Like I loved it so much. And so that's what I'm trying to do with this one. Trying to let it be the book that it wants to be and not the book that I want it to be. Sorry, I'm being very verbose. No one cares about this. Moving on to what this book is about. This is about Addie LaRue, who makes a deal with a devil, a demon, a devil, I don't know, something mystical. Makes a deal with him to live forever. However, the flip side to this is that nobody will ever remember her after she leaves their presence. So this is like her going from, I want to say, yeah, from the 1700s in France up to modern day in, I think, New York City. And it just sounds beautiful. I was lucky enough to be able to attend an event that Victoria Schwab was at, and she talked about one of the things that she was writing in this novel was about this feeling of, as you get older, feeling unaccomplished and feeling like you're lost, and how that was a big part of what she wanted to write in this, of like what it means to be in your late 20s, early 30s, and to look around you and everyone seems to have a purpose and you do not. And I relate to that. So yeah, that's one of the things that really made me excited for this book, on top of the mythology of it that sounds really fascinating. But I feel like more than anything, this book really sounds like a very interesting character story. So that's why I'm really excited for this book. Then on October 20th, Emily M. Danforth, who is the author of The Miseducation of Cameron Post, has a new novel coming out called Plain Bad Heroine. And this one gives me such Starless Sea vibes. It is a queer gothic novel set at a cursed New England boarding school for girls. And apparently it has a lot of like stories within stories. There's lots of footnotes. So because of that reason, like, I kind of get those Starless Sea vibes from it. Obviously I haven't read it, so I don't know if that's an accurate assumption to make, but I'm really excited for this one. The Miseducation of Cameron Post, people love that book. Have I read it? No, but I did see the film, really liked the film. I know, I'm a horrible booktuber. Yeah, I meant to read that book, I really did, and at some point lost it, so that's where we're at. But I'm really excited for this one. This one sounds a lot more up my alley because it is fantastical, which I love, and I am always interested in more gothic novels, especially some queer gothic novels. I feel like that is an underrepresented area in fiction, so I'm really excited for that one. Also, the timing of that, October 20th, perfect timing for Halloween. Then on November 10th, Rent-A-Boyfriend by Gloria Chow comes out. This one just sounds adorable. Although I say that knowing that American Panda, I mean, had some adorable moments, but was actually like pretty dark at times, so I'm hesitant to call this adorable. I'm nervous to call it adorable, I guess I would say. This is about a girl who hires a boy to pretend to be her boyfriend in order to impress her Asian American parents. And obviously, yes, she ends up developing feelings for him. So yeah, I love fake dating. It's an amazing trope. So I'm excited to see how this goes down. I'm also nervous because, again, she did not pull punches in American Panda. That book got dark in a surprising way, so I'm excited, but I'm also scared. Then lastly, on November 17th, These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong comes out. This book sounds so good. It is a 1920s Romeo and Juliet retelling set in Shanghai. Do you need to know anything else? I don't need to know a damn thing. I'm excited. I cannot wait for this book. It sounds like everything I didn't know I needed. Our main character, the person who's sort of at the heart of the novel, is Juliet Kai, who is a former flapper, and she is returning to Shanghai to take her rightful spot as the heir of the Scarlet Gang in Shanghai. So yeah, sounds amazing. But yeah, those are my top 10 most anticipated books for the rest of the year. I thought this was a perfect way to kick off fall, so I hope that some of these were exciting for you guys. I'd love to hear if there are any books that I didn't mention that you're really excited for. Let me know in the comments down below, especially in November and December, because I feel like I really didn't have a lot in those months, but I feel like those tend to be slower months in publishing anyways. But I'd love to hear about your most anticipated novels in the comments, and thank you again to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. If you guys want to check them out, I will have that link in the comments and description box below, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!